Welcome to Timeless Quotes, the show where we dig into all the words from our website, TimelessQuotes.blog.
Yes, exactly.
And today we're diving deep into a topic that can really transform your perspective.
Absolutely.
The value of gratitude.
Yes.
You've shared some really insightful quotes from our site, TimelessQuotes.blog, about this.
Some great ones.
And today we're going to unpack what they really mean for you.
I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, so we have 5 thought-provoking quotes.
We do.
From TimelessQuotes.blog to explore.
Right.
We'll look at how these ideas connect and offer some practical insights into cultivating a more grateful and ultimately happier life.
Absolutely.
So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
With our first quote from TimelessQuotes.blog.
Okay.
He who is grateful for little enjoys much.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What jumps out at you about that one?
I think it's interesting because it kind of flips the script on how we usually think about happiness.
Right.
You know, we're always told that we need to achieve big things or have a lot of possessions to be happy.
Right.
But this quote is saying that actually
It's the opposite.
it's the little things that matter most.
Yeah.
You know, the warmth of the sun,
Right.
a good cup of coffee in the morning, a moment of laughter with a friend.
Exactly.
Those are the things that really make life enjoyable.
I think what's fascinating is how it kind of defines little.
Yeah.
What does little really even encompass in this?
Well, I think little can be anything that brings you joy. It doesn't have to be something big or expensive.
Right.
It could be as simple as a beautiful sunset or a kind word from a stranger.
Right.
It's about shifting our focus to appreciate those small everyday moments that we often take for granted.
And how do you think appreciating these smaller things leads to a greater sense of enjoyment?
Well, I think it's because it trains our brains to focus on the positive when we're constantly looking for the big things.
Yeah.
We miss out on all the little things
Exactly.
that make life beautiful.
Right.
But when we start to appreciate the little things, we start to see beauty everywhere.
That's shifting your perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think there's even some science to back this up.
Oh, there is.
Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can actually increase our levels of happiness.
Absolutely.
And well-being.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. So it's not just some feel-good philosophy.
Right.
There's actually some real evidence to support it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next quote from TimelessQuotes.blog.
Oh.
Happiness begins when one stops complaining about the problems one has.
Okay.
And is thankful for the problems one does not have.
Oh, that's powerful.
What do you think about that one?
I love this quote because it really highlights the power of perspective. It's so easy to get caught up in our own problems and forget
It is.
that there are people who are going through much worse.
It really is.
You know, when we shift our focus to what we're grateful for, it changes our whole outlook on life.
And it's not about ignoring the problems.
No, absolutely not.
Right? It's about reframing them.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you think this could be a practical tool?
Well, for me, it's about taking a moment each day to think about all the things I'm grateful for.
All right.
Even the things that I might normally take for granted.
Yeah.
Like having a roof over my head or having food to eat.
Right.
You know, those are things that a lot of people in the world don't have.
Absolutely.
And when I think about that,
Yeah.
it makes me feel incredibly grateful.
So it's about finding those things that you maybe don't think about all the time.
Exactly.
So,
About appreciating the good, even when things are tough.
right. And recognizing that it could always be worse.
Absolutely.
All right. Our third quote from TimelessQuotes.blog gives us some more practical advice here.
All right. I like it.
Yay. Be thankful for life for all the good things you have.
Oh.
Write down on a piece of paper 10 things you have in your life that make you happy. When we make a gratitude list, we force ourselves to focus on the good things.
That's so true.
What do you think about that one?
I love the idea of a gratitude list.
Yeah.
It's such a simple but powerful tool. You know, when we write things down, it makes them more real.
It does.
And it helps us to really focus on them.
Right.
You know, I think a lot of times we just kind of go through life on autopilot.
On autopilot.
And we don't really stop.
We're just kind of going through the motions.
Exactly. But when we take the time to actually write down the things we're grateful for, it forces us to slow down and really appreciate them.
And it counteracts that negativity bias.
Absolutely.
Right.
Our brains are wired to focus on the negative.
Right.
But a gratitude list helps us to retrain our brains to focus on the positive.
I see.
It's like building a muscle. The more we do it,
Yeah.
the stronger it gets.
So even if it feels a little forced at first,
Right.
just keep doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It will become more natural over time.
Okay.
I promise.
All right. Our fourth quote from TimelessQuotes.blog shifts focus a little bit here.
Okay.
The best evidence of what kind of people we are is our ability to express gratitude.
Ooh, that's deep.
What do you think about that one?
I think this quote is really about character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's easy to say thank you when
Right.
someone does something nice for us.
Yes.
But true gratitude goes deeper than that.
Okay.
It's about recognizing and appreciating
Right.
the good in our life,
Mhm.
even when things are tough.
I see.
And it's about expressing that gratitude
Okay.
to the people around us.
So it's not just about feeling it.
No,
It's about expressing it.
exactly. When we express gratitude,
Yeah.
we're not just making the other person feel good.
We're also reinforcing those positive feelings within ourselves.
I see.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win.
Yeah.
And it strengthens our relationships,
Absolutely.
right? Because it shows that we value the other person and
Right.
what they do for us.
Exactly.
Okay, our final quote from TimelessQuotes.blog
Right.
really brings it all together here.
Okay.
He who does not learn the language of gratitude
Okay.
will not be able to communicate with happiness.
Wow. I love that one.
What do you think?
That's beautiful.
Yeah?
I think it's so true.
Yeah.
Gratitude is like a language.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't learn how to speak it,
Right.
we'll never be able to fully experience happiness.
And what do you think are some of the key components of this language of gratitude?
Well, I think first and foremost,
Mhm.
it's about awareness.
Okay.
We need to be aware of the good things in our lives, both big and small.
Right.
Once we're aware of them,
Yeah.
we need to appreciate them.
Okay.
And finally,
Yeah. We need to express our gratitude.
right. So it's like a 3-step process.
Exactly.
Awareness, appreciation, and expression.
Yeah.
I like it.
And when we do all three of those things,
Mm-hmm.
we open ourselves up to
Yeah.
a whole new level of happiness.
I see. And why do you think gratitude and happiness are so intertwined?
Well, I think it's because gratitude helps us to focus on the positive.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're focused on the positive,
Right.
we're more likely to feel happy.
It's like a positive feedback loop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The more grateful we are,
Mhm.
the happier we feel.
Right.
And the happier we feel,
Yeah.
the more grateful we become.
So reflecting on these 5 quotes from TimelessQuotes.blog,
Yeah.
what's a key takeaway for you about the power of gratitude?
I think the biggest takeaway for me
Mm-hmm.
is that gratitude is a choice.
Okay.
It's not something that just happens to us.
Right.
It's something that we have to actively cultivate.
Yep.
We have to make a conscious effort
Yeah.
to notice the good things in our lives, right? To appreciate them and to express our gratitude for them.
And what would you say to someone who's listening to this
I would say,
and they're thinking,
yeah.
okay, I get it, gratitude is important,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know where to start.
I would say start small.
Okay.
You know, don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight.
Right.
Just start by focusing on 1 or 2 things
Mm-hmm.
that you're grateful for each day.
So maybe start with that gratitude list.
Yeah, that's a great place to start.
Yeah.
You know, just take a few minutes each day to
Right.
write down a few things that you're
Yeah.
grateful for.
Sure.
And as you do that,
Yeah.
you'll start to notice
Mhm.
that you're becoming more aware
Right.
of the good things in your life,
I see.
and you'll start to feel more grateful.
So even small acts of gratitude
Absolutely.
can make a big difference.
They really can. It's
Yeah.
amazing how powerful it can be.
So listeners, consider how even small, intentional moments of thankfulness could reshape your daily experiences.
Yeah,
It's a fundamental skill for a richer life.
absolutely.
And here's a final thought from our deep dive into TimelessQuotes.blog.
Okay.
If gratitude is a language,
Mm-hmm.
what new conversations might you begin to have with your own life?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great question to ponder.
We encourage you to explore more timeless wisdom on TimelessQuotes.blog.
It's a great resource.
It is.